is up, Internet? I'm that dude, Swainzilla, aka old guy with too much time on his hands, coming at you from a fucking spaceship, and this is the reviewer. You may be shocked to hear this, but I'm actually not a legitimate film critic. Yeah, it's true. Actually, I've never taken a class, I've never read a book, and I've never even skimmed through an article on anything film education related ever. But I have recently adopted sharing my thoughts on stuff on YouTube as a hobby. So I figure why not throw some of the movies and shows I watch into the mix. Let's talk about the 5th episode of Andor. Just in case this is the first time you've watched one of these Andor review videos of mine, just be warned, I'm a very casual Star Wars fan. Like I've said before, I've watched a lot of the movies. I haven't watched The Last Jedi. That's the only one of the mainline movies I've never watched. I've watched 8 of the 9 movies, okay? And I've caught a few of the side movies. I watched Solo. I did watch Rogue One, so I'm kind of familiar with what's going on in this series, kinda. Like I said, I recognize the guy, but I don't know what the fuck he did in Rogue One. I'm gonna have to rewatch that at some point. So this review, if you're like a Star Wars fanatic, you're getting a review from the perspective of a normie. You know what I mean? Like, I'm very casual. I don't know the comic books. I know some of the Disney Plus shows. I haven't watched any of the animated series. So I don't know the lore and a lot of the canon. So I'm just watching this as I like Star Wars shit. And this is Star Wars shit. And I said this in the last video, the reason why I decided to make these review videos in the first place is because I'm trying to practice doing this, because I want to get into reviewing movies. And I'm going to start with the Halloween franchise. After I react to Halloween Ends, then I'm going to do a review of all the Halloween movies. So I just wanted to get some practice, and I feel like doing an entire series this way is pretty good practice, right? My biggest concern from the last video was how many characters we were getting. We were getting a lot of characters. And I was worried that we were going to get a shit ton of origin stories along with those characters. But I feel like they've done a pretty good job of the mom. I'm digging the eager cop's mom, where she's feeding him Fruit Loops or Twix or something, or not Twix, Trix or whatever the fuck she's feeding him with the blue milk. And she's got attitude, so I'm digging her. But we got a peep of her in the last episode, but it was for a second she just slapped him, so you kind of had an idea that she was going to be sassy. I feel like they've kind of just worked these new characters in kind of organically. None of it feels really pushed or forced. And we don't have to watch these big-ass origin stories. I feel even when we got the blonde chick in the Empire, they just went to it. You know what I mean? There wasn't this is where she came from. We don't know. She's an enigma. We don't really know what to make of her. There's a lot of characters on this show where we're not, and they probably did it purposefully, but we don't know what their motivation in any of this is. The blonde chick that's with the Empire, we learned a little more about her. That she's just, I feel like she's not really trying to make a name for herself. She wants to solve this shit. She wants to figure it out. And if she gets promoted in the process, I don't think that just means she can solve more shit. And I think that's what motivates her. Of course the senator lady has some kind of beef. We already seen some tension between her and the husband, and that just kind of continued in this episode. But then we're introduced to the daughter, who's super sassy. She's Mom, you're using me as a political pawn, and you don't have to do that. And Mom's damn, that kind of hurts my feelings. But she didn't deny doing the shit. She's that hurts. And then with our existing characters, we find out that the eager cop kid, we like his mom, But that makes us like him even less because he's like a total dick to her. Like, she's like trying to hook him up. You know what I mean? She's feeding him fucking whatever space Fruit Loops are, but they're like in balls. They look like Kicks from back in the day, but like fruity. The blue milk looks fucking tempting. I don't know what that is or what animal that shit is from. But it looks like blueberry or something. I don't know. I'm down. I'd try that shit. Whatever that cereal was he was fucking with and like playing with it with the spoon, hook me up. That shit look banging to me. But yeah, and like he's just totally being a total dick to his mom. And then it's pretty clear that he's like obsessed with Andor now because he feels like some type of way. Like he got him like shit canned. It's like, dude, it's your fault. This whole shit was your fault. If you would have just listened to the captain, dude, you would have been like golden. And then, like the senator and her husband, like I was saying, the tension in that relationship is even amplified more. And can I say how much I love I love how extravagant things are in her like little piece of the world, like giant ass dining table. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like they got the hookup. That fucking car, for like a space car, it looks like it's a step above of other space cars. It's kind of weird how they make that work, but it's like sick. And then we get the expansion of the lieutenant guy, like the inside guy. Like he's wandering around, he's playing his part to the T. He's like cussing people out, he's bossing people around. Like unless he's never been like that, there's no way anybody is gonna get suspicious of this guy. He is playing his part, and he nails it. I mean, and then they expanded on the nerdy kid, like in the group, like he pulls out the old fucking, the Polaroid, it looks like an old Polaroid camera. I don't know what the fuck it is, but like, he is intent, he is motivated by the cause, you know, and I feel like he is definitely gonna die. He's either gonna die or he's going to become like a major player in the rebellion, like down the road. And the world building in the show is just like, still we get the contrast of our people like training to do this heist. We got our Imperials, we got our senator, you know what I mean? And then we're introduced to where the heist is going to take place. Like at first I thought it was just a factory because it looked kind of like, I didn't know. Couldn't really make out what was going on. But then you're like seeing the details of this, of where shit's about to jump off, and everything just seems like legit. I don't know how to word it, but everything just seems, it just makes sense. It's immersive. The amount of detail we get in this show, it doesn't really feel like. I never feel like, oh, they're like really trying to show that thing off. I feel like everything is, all the details are super subtle, but so noticeable, like, peripherally. I don't know. I just feel like they do a great job making everything seem like legit, realistic, like natural. And I don't understand how they do it because there's nothing like really crazy about how the Empire officers and stuff dress, but you can tell they're the bad guys, right? Like the pointy hats, maybe just the way the cut of the uniforms or whatever, but they come on screen and you just know they're the bad guys. Like, I don't know what it is, but you just know they're the bad guys. I just like how simple the plot is. Like, they have these major, like, lines of story, right? We got our heist, we got our espionage, we got revenge, we got all these different stories taking place, but they're, like, threaded together the way that it's edited, but nothing's, like, too complicated. So I feel like they can fit in all of this detail within what's going on, like how the guys are training, the investigation that's going on with the Imperial lady and her secretary, like the intricacies of the lieutenant, the inside guy, like playing off his You know what I mean? Just staying the same. You know what I mean? Not giving anything away. I feel like it's done perfect. Like, it's balanced. Like, we're getting these pretty plain, simple, like, heist stories, threads. But then they're throwing all these details at us to, like, I mean, you just kind of feel like you're in it. The only thing I really thought was mid was when you get the guy who's, like, in the bear. Like, first of all, I think this dude the best role I've seen him in. Like, on the bear, like, he plays his role. I just feel like they amplify. Like, he's just ignorant for no reason. Like, I feel like it's kind of unbelievable. He does a good job, but I just don't like. I like the show, but it's, you know, like, it's a bit much. Like, this dude's just ignorant for no reason. And then the first time I saw the guy, he was in that show with the girl and the vampire who rode the motorcycle, who just called his daughter Brat the whole time. Super annoying. But anyway, like, the whole, you know what I mean? He takes the guy's stuff. He takes Andor's shit. He goes through it. You know what I mean? And then later on, we get, like, this whole new added tension because he finds the necklace. With the fucking crystal that's, I guess, is apparently from lightsabers. Anyway. So how did he know what was on this necklace? I mean, I know he went through his shit, so he didn't see a necklace when he went through his shit. So he was just, he must have noticed he was wearing a necklace randomly. But how did he know what it was? Snatches it off, you know, he does that whole thing, and I just feel like it was kind of predictable. Like, a lot of the episode was devoted to this guy trying to figure out, I guess he's the face of the group, and he's trying to figure out who this Andor dude is and where he came from. Now, I say that, but I do like the fact that led to Andor's character having to, you know what I mean, become like a leader in a way. Like, it was probably pretty risky for him to admit that he was a mercenary. But I feel like in his mind he knew, hey, look, these motherfuckers don't trust me. And if I was in their shoes, I'd want to know what I was up to. And then somehow, by him being honest about what was up, and they probably should have been more pissed than they were, his honesty, endeared them to him. You know what I mean? Now they're like, it kind of cemented what was going on, because then dude is like, oh yeah, my brother got killed by these motherfuckers and he was farming trees and shit. So I guess even though it kind of annoyed me by it kind of seemed predictable, and we've seen that kind of thing before, where the one guy is kind of like you know what I mean, is purposely being a dick, and then there's like you know what I mean, they make up because of whatever. I feel like that's kind of been played out. But they kind of patched it up at the end with the evolution of Andor's character, if that makes any sense. The only thing I really don't like is that how impatient I am, because I want to know what's going on with these other fucking characters. Still don't know anything about the black guy. Still don't know anything about the mother figure that rescued him with the black guy. We don't know what's going on with her. They're all back in this town. The work buddy, we don't know a fucking thing about this guy. The droid, we still haven't seen the droid. We don't know what's going on with that. The mechanic girl who had her own shop, I feel like something's gonna happen between her and like the Empire over her dead boyfriend. Like, something's gonna happen there, and then this is just me. I'm trying to unravel this story in my mind, because I really don't know where it's going. I feel like one of the people, it's not going to be the bear guy, but one of the guys in the heist crew is going to turn out to be on the inside. I don't know who that is yet. I'm thinking it might be the one black guy that's kind of like being like, hey man, I'm running this shit. You know what I mean? It could be him. But I feel like we're going to get that. But at some point, Andor is going to get word that the Empire's fucking with this mechanic chick, and he's going to have to go back there. Maybe after this heist, the nerdy kid dies, they figure out the black guy's shady, they take care of him. the heist is over, and then he goes back to where he's from. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out what's going to happen next. But anyway, I just want to know what's going on with these characters. I mean, we're on episode 5. I don't know how many episodes are in the season. I know that it's supposed to be 2 seasons, and then there's like a time jump somewhere in it. So I'm hoping that we get some more answers about these people. I definitely want to know if when the smuggler guy said something about his dad getting hanged, I want to know if that meant like his real dad. Still don't know anything about his sister, or if he was talking about the black guy. If the black guy got hung, like, and that kind of. Are we going to get more flat? There's like a whole lot of questions. I guess if anything, I'm just like, Jesus Christ, give us more information on where this is going. Even though I love the detail, maybe it's not as balanced as I want it to be. Or maybe it's good that I'm like fiending for this extra information. But all in all, like, I totally dig this show. I like the characters. I like the way it's acted, the way it's shot. The plot, I feel immersed in it. Like, if you haven't watched this show yet and you're into Star Wars, or even if you're not into Star Wars, I feel like this is definitely the best. I think I'm about to put it over the first season of The Mandalorian. This might be the best Star Wars shit Disney's put out. Since they took over. I mean, The Force Awakens was good. And then they fumbled the bag on the sequels to that. Mandalorian was really good. I don't think season 2 was that great. This might be the best shit Disney's done with Star Wars so far. What do you think? Let me know in comments. That's all I have for now. So until next time, later.